Okay, let's continue with the next thing. We need to, after we finish our end value management status, or let's say the assessment of the performance in the project, we knew that now that our CPI is over 1, and the status of the project is under budget. The next thing we will try to do is the forecasting thing. So I finished 50% of the, sorry, I finished 50% of the time. And in this 50%, after 6 months of the time, I have the status like 1.1. So we said that in the forecasting, we have 4 scenarios. So the 4 scenarios we have. First one, we said that our CPI will equal to 1. And this is what we talked about in the slides. So if we come to here, we said the first scenario is that the CPI is equals to 1. That means even though I did good in the past, but I'm not going to be that good in the future, which means that I'm going to continue as the usual. So what we have here, if the CPI is 1, we will calculate the formulas, or let's say the estimate to complete and estimate at complete. So let's call this table scenarios. We have 1, 2, 3. And in the first one, we need to calculate the CPI. So the CPI in the first one is 1. And then I need let's make this is a nice table. So depending on the scenario 1, we said the scenario 1, we will continue like previous. So if we continue we will continue as planned. So if we continue as planned, then we need to have the CPI for the remaining work is 1. This is CPI, the remaining work. We know our CPI for the current work, which is CPI for the current work is 1.1. So let's have it here, 1.1. This is our CPI for the previous work. And the remaining work, we said in the scenario 1, it will continue as previous. We will continue as planned, so it will go with 1. In the scenario 1, we will calculate. We have the budget of the remaining work, and we will calculate ETC, which is equals to the budget of the remaining work. Let's have the budget of the remaining work, which is BSC minus EV in this field. The budget at complete, here we have, is the total amount of the cost baseline. So the cost baseline that we have here equals BAC. BAC. So the budget at complete is the cost baseline, same. So now we will have the budget at complete minus end value. So this is the budget of the remaining work. And then the next thing we will have is that the estimate to complete, we said it is equal to budget of the remaining work divided by the CBI of the remaining work. And then we have the estimate at complete. Let's add estimate at complete here, which equals to estimate to complete plus actual cost. What does that mean? That means even though that I planned to finish this project at 334, but I am expecting to finish the project at 320 because I did well in the first 6 months of the project, but I'm not going to do that well in the remaining part. And then we have the VAC, which equals to BAC minus EAC, 14,000. It is more than one, which means the same meaning of our CBI, which is good. The next scenario we have is a CBI to continue as the previous CBI. So if we did well in the first part of the project, we are going to do well in the remaining part. The formula of the remaining work will not change. So we will have the same formula here. Same base, which is the budget of the remaining work, which is the budget at completion, minus the end value. And then the ETC will be the same formula. So it is the 223 divided 1.1. The difference between those two numbers is that this is the number I have a budget for to the remaining work. So I am planning to spend 223 for the remaining work. But because my performance is going to be good, I'm not going to spend all that money. So I'm only going to spend 203,000. And then the EAC again equals to ETC plus the actual cost. That means that if I continue with my performance in this way, then my estimate at complete will be 300,000 instead of 335. And like we said before, the EAC can be calculated in this formula, or it can be calculated by, we can put it here, the full budget divided by 1.1. So it is the same, almost the same amount. And then we have the VAC. The VAC equals to BAC minus EAC. Again, it is more positive, more good. The third scenario that we have is that we are going to consider the CBI and SBI. But since we didn't calculate the SBI, then we are not going to calculate that scenario.